All right, Kelly, welcome back for our third lesson of our 3-lesson series. So before we get started on what we're going to do today, I want to talk a little about what we've done in the series to this point. Starting with what we did in lesson 1, we started with long game. You identified some areas that you wanted to work on, specifically your long approach game, and as well as working on squaring the club face, taking some of the fade out of your golf shots, right?
Right.
And then in lesson 2, we moved to short game, where we started talking about specifically partial wedges and pitch shots. These were shots that you were struggling with. And while we certainly worked on some different facets of each side of the game, we also noticed some tendencies. Some tendencies in the way that we set up to the golf ball, specifically in relation to ball position. We also noticed that our body movement patterns, things that we were doing in the long game and the short game, were kind of relating to each other.
Right.
So we identified some ways to help you kind of work through those, and then we worked on some different ways to practice. So some of our practice assignments were designed to help you get some repetition. You know, learning how to move your body, learning how to get in the same position each time with the feel of your body through the swing. And then we also designed specifically, like with the short game, we designed some practice areas so that you could kind of challenge yourself to do more kind of on-course situations,
Right.
where you're challenged to do something once at a time versus being able to just repetitively hit the golf ball,
Right.
right? And I think that over time is going to really help you translate what we're working on up here on the tee top onto the golf course here.
Yeah.
Now moving into lesson 3, so we're going to be working on long game again. Now, our first long game lesson, we talked about long approach, and squaring the club face. Are there any other facets of the long game that you'd want to focus on instead, or do you want to kind of build on what we worked on in lesson 1?
I want to build.
Okay, so we're gonna maybe identify some new either drills or new feelings that we can work on while we're on the tee top, and then hopefully also prescribe you some things down the road so that you can practice on this, ingrain it, and kind of the same thing. You know, a lot of incorporating new skills. You have to be able to. We say that you can't build a new habit until you break down an old one, right? So some of that, and a lot of that comes with repetition. So some of our practice is going to be about ingraining things with multiple swings, and then we might also find some ways to kind of challenge you in an in-game situation. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started.
All right, let's go.